Greetings, family. We're in Tony's barber shop, and we have the great man Neville Watson. And Neville Watson, this is just music to the ears, my brother. It's just reasonable, and you got a flow about you. You're in rhythm, like in a party jam. We want to drop a skank and everything. Yes, my brother. It's just rhythm we're having here, brother. But he was talking about the other thing about mentoring. Getting young people to be mentored by businesses, and to me that's a fantastic idea. In terms of you're entrepreneur, and knowing that to me the most important thing that the fact that the young people being mentoring, they will gain from that. They will gain from that. You see what I'm saying? What made you thought that idea, my brother? How did that vision come to you and so forth?
Well, again, I'm going to go back a few years ago. I mean, when I'm working in the corporate world, I mean, as I suppose a sales trainer, as a motivational speaker, I suppose for companies, where it was all about generating sales for organisations, especially direct sales teams. I was first asked to go into British Gas at the start of the deregulation of the utilities market, and I won a contract which lasted 4.5 years, and my role was to train all the British Gas salespeople that were going around the country and knocking doors, well, especially in London and the South East in particular, knocking your door, trying to do two things. A, to get you to take electricity from them, and B, to win back customers that at the start of the deregulation of the utilities market, other companies came in and they were taking obviously British Gas customers.
Okay.
And so my role was to lead that, and I led that for 4.5 years, and I set up and wrote all the training programs. And I used to realize then when I was doing that for British Gas, the power you had in terms of inspiring people, how you can inspire people, how you can develop people and take people from a point A where they had very little confidence because they can never go and approach somebody, to point Z where suddenly now they're knocking people's doors at any time of the day, any time of the evening, and they're actually getting people to sign up to British Gas for electricity. And that was something that I developed. And it's from there, and that understanding of the human psyche and the ability to go one step further, the ability to go outside your comfort zone, and how to take people gradually outside their comfort zone, not to rush them outside, but how to move people gradually. And I used to say that when they asked what I was then, I used to say that I'm in the travel business. And when people said to me, what do you do? I said I was in the travel business. They said, what do you mean, what sort of travel? Do you take people abroad? And I say, well, sort of. I don't actually take people on aeroplanes. I take them from point where they were to where they need to be.
Okay.
and that was my way of explaining in the travel business. That was mind travel, and that's how I sort of looked at it. And in a sense, I saw that what mentoring in corporate world could do. So I thought then, that this, you get to the point where do you want to just keep doing this, and you're earning very good money doing that, but there was no real satisfaction in doing that. And then I moved very much into voluntary work. And you see, because of the income that I earned doing this, it allowed me to do a lot of voluntary work. Because as you know, there's a saying we have in Jamaica: one hand wash the other. If you heard that saying. Well, one hand was washing the other, definitely, because voluntary work doesn't pay. But my corporate work obviously helped me to do my voluntary work. And that's how I really moved into voluntary work over sort of maybe been doing that now 15, 20 years now, doing voluntary work. And it's working with young people where I've got my most satisfaction, and seeing how you can change lives. You can change the life of a young person, and just by giving them that little bit of, giving that lift, giving them that ability to understand that they can go one step beyond where they think they can go. That can-do mentality, getting rid of some of the negative thinking that the often we're engulfed by, and breaking out from the mental sort of slavery that we have, trapped by their own negativity often.
Right.
And understanding the power of that got me to understand that we can make a difference to young people's lives, and if we can do that, we can change communities. So in a way, it was me helping. It's in seeing that and seeing the work and seeing the outcome of that work, seeing the actual work, and there was nothing better than seeing a young person that that you worked with, who started out as someone who felt they had no hope. They said no hope. They'd say, there's nothing for me out there. That mentality, that they couldn't care less about what happened, because there's no chance for them. To see them dream again, to see that actually, but that they could achieve that goal, to me was powerful.
Let me ask you a question here, Brother Neville. Who influenced you in terms of motivational speakers and politicians? Because obviously you must be influenced by certain individuals out there at that time there.
Yeah, I'm going back. In truth, where does it come from? If in truth, my biggest influence it really was my. It's very difficult. There was no one individual, but I would say it was just having it was the confidence of the upbringing. I think it was coming from a stable family. I think coming from a very strong Jamaican family who was proud of their heritage. That gave me that confidence. Now, it doesn't always work for everybody. I understand people come from stable families, strong families, and not have that. So there's something that God has given me, and then I suppose I wanted to learn. I mean, I learned more when I left school. In school, my head was too much into sports and looking at girls and doing all those things and caught up in all the things. And the saddest thing for me that had a reverse psychology, I would say now when I look back, is when I went to the careers day. We used to have careers officers back in those days. And I remember, I never forget this, and even when I talk about it sometimes, I get quite, it hits me in a way. When I think about it, I can see it does affect you. I remember at the time, I was being very enthusiastic and thinking, because my mum, they said to me, I could be a doctor, because I had the ability, I was a bright child. And I remember when I went to my careers office at the time, at school, and I remember saying, they said, what do you like to be? I said, I'd like to be a doctor, I'd really like to be a doctor. How can I be a doctor? And I can never forget the look on their face. It was almost like a smirk. And they directed me, said, no, be realistic, and they pointed me to factory jobs and things like that, and to this day,
just crush you,
that you didn't realize what was happening then. You just thought, okay, and totally crushed your ambition. How it can happen, because I didn't think that was available to me. I realized they took that off the shelf. That wasn't part of the game. I couldn't be part of that game. And the game that I was to play in was a smaller field. And they showed me the smaller field and said, no, that field wasn't for you. This was the one you should play in. And really looking back, that had an impact on me then, because I did find myself in lots of little jobs. But you know what? I've been blessed enough to sort of leave my surroundings, my natural surroundings, as they would have me believe, and break into the world of big finance, high finance, and the corporate world. So it's understanding that with good mentoring and with people around you that truly believe in you, and enabling you to believe in yourself, giving you the ability to believe in yourself, and showing you that you can reach the skies, and the sky is your limit, and there's nothing that you cannot do. Having that type of person. So mentoring for me is the key to our community.
Fair enough, right? I was reading the autobiography of Malcolm X, and even Malcolm said that when he went to these career advisors, right, he said he wanted to be a lawyer. And it's Malcolm, you'd be good working your hands, doing carpentry or whatever. And he's from then, he knew that they messed him up. So, I mean, you've grown through that kind of experience, and many of us been through that kind of experience as well. It's what I'm saying. So, who can identify what you've been through, my brother? You see what I'm saying? But like I said before, God had a plan for you, you know what I mean? And that's the reason why you're here today, because of the grace of the great God. I want to bring it back to the old thing about the road of the churches, right? The road of the churches. Because I believe that the church should be involved when it comes to politics. To me, there should be. It's not good or bad, there should be, right? And as you know, that there's so many churches out there, right? But the question is that, to me, they're not really actively involved in politics. What I see, right? I could be